Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how we can actually vibe code our marketing. I'm going to use the app I have, which is Calls, which is a calorie tracking app. And in the end, we're going to have a video that looks like this. All of the video will be made with code, and you'll be able to generate as many as you want with simple clicks in buttons. Let's get started. Okay, so this is the app I want to make some videos for, some content that I can post on Instagram. And what I'm thinking is doing something like this, where you have like one food and then another food and compare it, which makes sense because it's a simple app tracking application that you just take a photo and it tells the calories of the food and some other elements. And so I want to create something like this, and basically this is sort of what my flow will be. I want to get an image with a top view of the food. I want to combine two images in one image, so I want top and bottom. I want to guess the calories, do some call to guess the calories, and then I want to show the calories, and last show a log and download now button. So this is the kind of workflow where I would probably not go with something like a Cloud Web or other instance, because I want to run on my computer, since we're going to be generating video, and that can be more intensive, or you can use APIs, which will be expensive. So I'll do everything locally. So to start, I would go to ChatGPT. I already collected some sample images. So what I'm going to do is to actually select all of this, give them to GPT. I would write something like this, create a prompt that allows me to generate images like this for some different foods, and I would send. And this would start creating a prompt. So it's done. Let's test it. Let's say, for example, something like this, and let's replace this with, let's say, fish and chips. Let's see how good is the result. Okay, now you can see generated two images. They look a little bit like AI still, but if you're seeing them like small and in your phone, probably it's not noticeable, so let's go with it. So this is the prompt we're going to use. Now we're going to move to Cloud Code on our computer. So I open the terminal on my on the folder. So let's start with Cloud, set it up. In this case, we're going to use Python because we're going to be working with video and it will be easier. So we'll go step by step. Let's start by asking it to generate a system that generates images. So we'll write something like this. So I'm writing something like this. I want to create an application to generate videos with Python. I want to go step by step, and for now, I want to create a minimal Flask application. Flask is just what we're using to create a server and to actually run our application, where I can give a list of foods and it will make multiple calls to the OpenAI and generate images for each. So we're going to use OpenAI to generate the images. We're just telling this. Then we give it the prompt. We want to actually use this prompt to generate images itself. And then I ask it to just create a virtual environment, which just means everything is tight and just in one place, and it's easier for us to reproduce it in other places. So let's run. This may take a bit. You can see there's a list of tasks and we just have to wait for a bit. So after a bit, we can see it's actually asking us for permission to create stuff. So I'll just give the permission. So it says it's done and that we need to follow these steps. So I don't want actually to use the OpenAPI key like this. So I'm just going to ask it to create an env to store the key. Okay, so now this is done, and if we go to our application folder that has been created, we'll see something like this, and this is where we need to add our key. So if you don't know, an API key is basically how you talk to a service. For example, ChatGPT is an API platform, and this just means that you can talk with it using code, and of course this is paid. It's not like the ChatGPT you'd use on the chat, but it allows you to programmatically call it. So you'll need to log into the API platform, and then you'll need to actually get the key. And to do so, you need to click Dashboard, and you need to click API keys. When you click API keys, you'll go to a page that looks something like this. You should never share details on this page because people can use your key and it will actually cost you money. So I'm going to do create new secret key to create a new key for this project, and this is how we're going to do our requests. I'll just choose a name. In this case could be like test and create the key. And then we have something like this, which you can copy. Make sure you copy it and save it in a safe place because you won't be able to access again. And if you need it, you have to delete and create a new one. So we can take it and we can put it here on our API key. I'm going to blur this. And after we do this, we can go back to our Cloud Code session and we can ask it to run the server. Okay, so now it says it's running the server on localhost, which means it's running only on our computer. So let's click it and we'll see something like this. And we'll see something like this. So let's try it. And let's give it a second to see if everything is working. Okay, so the results are looking good, but not super good. So let's try and fix it. So let's do something like this. The image has too much stuff. It should only have the white background and then the plate with the food. And let's ask it to fix the prompt. Okay, so not much better. It actually looks like fish and chips. So if we now go to our code, we can see there will be, in this case, an image page which has all of the images. So we can see it improved. Let's delete everything. And let's ask it to create a button to actually create more meals. So something like this, create a button that will prefill the list with 10 meals so that you can actually click on the button after meals and then click the next button and generate the images. Okay, so now it's done. Let's go to the app, refresh, and now we have this, which prefilled with 10. Now let's generate the images. Okay, so now that it's done, we can see we have our images. Not all of them are good, but some are. So we can see that if we click again, it will refill with the same, and we don't want that. So let's go here and tell him something like this. Make sure each time it's prefilled, 10 meals are selected. Use GPT to generate this list. This way it will actually generate 10 new meals. Okay, so now it's done. Let's test it. Let's refresh the page. You can see now it generated 10 meals. Let's try again. So now it seems to be working correctly. Okay, so next step, we saw that not all images are good, so let's do an image selector. So let's say something like this, create a menu on top to go to the image generation and a new page with the generated images where we can delete them so that we can filter out the bad images. It's done. Let's test it. You can see now we have a menu for navigation. Let's go to the image gallery. Okay, and let's test deleting. Let's delete. Okay, and that seems to be working fine. So we have the first part, which is the image generation. Let's remove this one, it's not good. And now let's go to the second part, which is displaying the images, one image on top and one image on the bottom. So now that we have the images, we actually need to add a bit more of information to them because we need to actually get the calories before going to the next step. So we'll do something like this. So let's say for each image, create a button with the text analyzed that when clicked should send a prompt to GPT to calculate how many calories are in the plate. This should be stored and associated with the image. So we have the images, we want to know how many calories are on each so that we can then place on top and bottom without anything. And then when we create the video after the countdown, we'll display the calories. But for that, we need to calculate the calories ahead. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's also add to show them next to the image. Okay, so it's done. Let's see if it's working. You can see we have the option to analyze calories. Let's do it for the apple pie. We got an error, so let's copy the error and tell Claude, and we'll just let it fix it. Let's see if it fixed it. Let's analyze the calories. So now it seems to be working. And let's refresh the page. We can see it saved it next to the image. So next step, let's create a button to analyze all. This, create a button to analyze all that have not been analyzed. Now let's ask him to create it. Okay, so it's done. Let's test it. Refresh. You can see we have the analyze all analyzed. Let's go for it. Okay, so this is working fine. So let's go to the next step, which is creating the actual video. So let's try something like this. Let's tell I want you to create a page that will create videos. The video should have a description on top saying which has more calories, followed by one randomly chosen food on top, then a divider line that has a countdown from 5 to 0, and then an image. When the countdown is done, it should add the calories to each plate below them for 5 seconds. When the countdown is done, it should add the calories of each plate below them for 5 seconds. Make sure foods are only used once. Let's try this. This will probably take a little bit more because it's video editing. Okay, so it says it's done. Let's test it. Let's refresh the page. Let's go to create videos and let's try to create a random video. Got this error, so let's copy and paste the error. Okay, so now it says it's done. Let's try it again. Let's refresh the page. It still has the same error, so let's say again. Okay, so after a bit of trial and error, and just keep doing as I did, where you have an error, you just tell Claude the error and it tries to fix it. We now are creating a video. Okay, so this was the result. So it's kind of working, not exactly working, so let's try and fix it by describing the video a little bit better. So we're now giving it a better description. I'll say I want the video to be the following: show both foods one on top of the other, with the text on top saying which food has more calories. In the middle, there should be a division between both foods that also shows the countdown. After that ends, the countdown should disappear and the rest should stay the same, each of the images. Okay, now it's finished. Let's see how it actually looks. Okay, it's looking better. Let's see the actual video. Okay, so it's a little bit better, still not very good, but let's try and improve on it. Let's try this, scale the images so that they occupy half of the video each. Okay, so it's refreshed, and now this is what we get. I'll play the video. So it's better, it's closer to what we want, but it's still not quite there because the images are too different and the text is still kind of weird. Let's try and improve on this. Okay, so the sounds have finished adding, and let's see if it works. There you go, this is working, and now I'm going to add some music. So I wrote this, I add music file called music.mp3, play this song during the whole video at half the volume of the other sounds. Now the results, we'll create a new video. Let's see if it worked. And here we go, this is it. This would be the final version, and now we could just repeat the process again and again with different videos and photos and post it online, and we'd have some sort of marketing done for us in a completely vibe coded way. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.